Good evening, beloved. My names are Emmanuel, Ademola. I count it a great privilege and honor to share my testimony on this platform. It's been a great time, and I trust the Lord that God's faithfulness over our lives, talking about the journey so far with the Rose Ministries. I want to thank God for Daddy, the servant of the Lord, Reverend Bola Arowolo, for the opportunity I had in the year 1989 when I came into Rose Ministries. After finishing my schooling, I came back into Kaduna, and I had the honor to fellowship then with the church arm, the Green Pastures Church. It was one of the service days, the Sunday service that he was ministering. I had the opportunity to rededicate my life to Christ again. And since then, in the year 1989, my journey in Christ became a wonderful one because of the platform Daddy provided. It was in Rose Ministry, in the church arm, the Green Pastures Church, that I had the opportunity to experience my Christian walk with God. Actually, I was opportune to work with the ministry, talking about having the platform. Daddy gave us a platform to be free. So I joined the ministry and I joined the Sunday school. I had the opportunity then under our resident pastor's wife, then Mrs. Esenyi, to grow up and become a Sunday school teacher. That is in the year 1990-91. I had the opportunity to also be one of the Sunday school teachers under her tutelage. And that's how my journey with Christ began. And Daddy provided a lot of platform. I remember as I continued to grow, all those early years, I went through the local Bible church under the Great Pastor Church, and then we had Pastor Emmanuel Udo as our teacher. Actually, it was a wonderful time. The testimony I'm just trying to share in a nutshell is to show how far God, through his servant, Reverend Bola Arowolo, has provided me with a good platform where my Christian journey began on a very good ground, a good footing. I had the opportunity to join the prayer group and were groomed up. What I am today actually had its roots in the Rose Ministries. I remember also in the year 1992, January precisely, when Daddy, Reverend Bola Arowolo, granted me the privilege to have my first experience outside Kaduna as a pastor. Then I was not even ordained as a full-time pastor yet, but he counted it worthy for me to hand me over to a different ministry in Edo State, precisely in Anegbete. And I believe that within the few years between 1989 to 1991 and 92, Daddy had seen in me certain potential, and that is why he could count it a privilege to allow me go out, as a good father, a loving father would have look through his son before he can give him out. And so I had the opportunity to go to Edo State in 1992, precisely on the 21st of January. And I was there all through for 18 months and had the opportunity to return back to Kaduna. And it was a wonderful time. Daddy received me back with all his heart opened. And all through 92, 93, 94, 95, all through I was with Daddy. With the Rose Ministry, I remember several times Daddy granted us the privilege to be to the altar to minister. In fact, I want to thank God for Daddy and the Rose Ministry for the platform. I remember one of the days Daddy gave me the privilege to be a teacher with the music arm. He gave me some of his books to read through, prepare some studies, and it was a wonderful time. In fact, one of the days I remember when Daddy asked me to represent him in a meeting, in St. Saviour Casino Road in Kaduna. He said I should be there to minister. He won't be able to come there. I should go there and minister. I went there believing that the grace of my daddy would cover me there. I went there and it was a wonderful time. But I remember about 20 minutes to the time when the ministration will be called upon, Daddy walked into the program. Wow, it was a different scenario entirely. And I remember Daddy tapping me at the back then saying to me, son, I just wanted you to come along with me and see what the Lord is doing. And I won't lie to you, it was a wonderful experience. I also remember one of the days Daddy asked me to go represent him in Tudunwada around the fire brigade axis, Tudunu Power, Tudunwada axis there. You know, so Daddy happened to be someone that has a very large heart, liberal, and actually desire that people should grow under him. I want to say, frankly speaking, that you can't be with Daddy, Reverend Bola Arowolo, and have a dull moment. It's not just possible, except you are not close to him. But if you are close to Daddy, I know for sure you can never have a dull moment. All through my time with him, before I finally had to exhale, it was a wonderful time. I am so grateful to God, so grateful to Rose Ministry, so grateful to God for the privilege to grow under Daddy. I remember one of the time around 1991 when Daddy called me and was asking me, why am I bearing the name Ogumola? Because that's my surname, Ogumola. And Daddy said, why the Ogu? I said, well, that is my father's name, the family name. He said, why don't we do something about changing the Ogun and get something else? I said, well, my dad's other name is Gabriel. And Daddy said, I bear Emmanuel. How can I be bearing Gabriel Emmanuel? It will look like an English name. It was Daddy that rebetted the name Ademola. I'm talking of Daddy, Reverend Bola Arowolo. He was one that gave me that name and prayed over me and named me with that name Ademola, which I'm bearing to today. All through my credentials till tomorrow, I still bear Ademola. It was the handwork of Daddy. That is to show you the kind of man Daddy is. In the Rose Ministries, I remember those days how Daddy liberally will allow us to function, both in the music, in the church program, gave the office out. Daddy travels, leave us with the office, trusting and knowing fully that we have the capability to handle. I am so grateful and so thankful to God for the privilege I have all through my days and years with Daddy in the Rose Ministry. I am so grateful. The ministry had actually journeyed through so many storms, so many trying times, so many experiences, but the Lord in his faithfulness had kept this ministry these 40 years. I am most grateful and most thankful to God to be part of this ministry, the Rose Ministry. Daddy, thank you so much for all of your tutelage, all of your concern, all of your love, all of the moments we shared together. What I am today, by the grace of God, came through you. I have relocated to Lagos since last year, April 2022, and all I am here in Lagos by the grace of God were the handwork of what you built in me from the very beginning. Daddy, I'm so grateful. I remember those days we met in Kaduna, in Zaria, in the program of our late mom then, Ishaya Audu. Your words of encouragement, your support, your prayers. I remember one of the days you had to take me along with you to a program. And it's been a wonderful time. Daddy, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. My earnest prayer and desire continually is that the Rose Ministry will continue to work stronger and stronger, becoming more viable by the day, more productive, more accessible to many, many more souls and lives out there. I want to say for sure that this is what you normally tell us in Green Pastures Church those days. You say this is a training ground, and indeed today we are all witnesses. I have many sons and daughters all over the places in the world that the Lord had used you to raise up. Daddy, we celebrate you. We celebrate you, Mommy. We celebrate your effort. We celebrate your commitment and devotion to us. My prayer, Daddy, is that the Lord will keep you on, strengthen you, and fulfill His joy in you, and as you fulfill your joy in us continually. Thank you, Daddy, for the honor. Bless you, Daddy. Thank you, sir.